Chris, it's a pleasure to get to talk to you on one of our common subjects, which is science fiction.
No, well, thank you for having me. It's exciting to talk about.
So probably most people wouldn't think of you as a science fiction filmmaker, but you have major forays into it.
Yeah.
Very, very unique ones. The Dark Knight is science fiction from a sociological standpoint. Interstellar obviously is. Inception obviously is. They're using a machine to go into a dream.
Yeah.
If there was no machine, you could argue
it'd be metaphysical.
Exactly, it would be a metaphysical story.
And it would have made a lot less money. No, it would. I mean, I'm being glib, but the truth is that science fiction allows you a mechanism that we can all understand and grasp. A lot of the inspiration for Inception was from a period of my life, when I was in university and didn't have much money, and breakfast was free, but it ended at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock or whatever. And we were, of course, staying up all night. And so I would go to bed at 4 in the morning or something, set my alarm, wake up to get the end of breakfast, go back to bed.
Back to sleep.
So then you're in this sleep state where it becomes possible to be very aware of the fact that you're dreaming. And I would experiment with trying to control the dream, trying to make something
lucid dreaming.
Lucid dreaming. Yeah. And it's frustrating, and but it's fascinating. And the occasional moment where you get something to work and you're able to actually channel your dream, lucid dreaming, it's pretty fascinating. You go, okay, that's a superpower. That's an amazing thing. And that was really very much the genesis of the film.
It's incredible. You made something that was completely unique, and I would argue probably unique in film history, which was this kind of Matryoshka stacking doll reality that was challenging to follow, but thrilling to know that you had got it right. But maybe it makes sense to start with Interstellar. It's pretty four-square in the genre, future, hardware-oriented, and so on. What drew you to that subject?
I was sort of excited to try the Newtonian physics, because so much of Interstellar is about quantum physics, Einstein and beyond, but to get back to Newton, and things that as a moviegoer you can really grasp and feel, that kind of thing.
Yeah, when you're showing gravitational lensing and the intense distortion around a black hole, you approached it very rigorously by going to some of the top experts.
It was a really fascinating part of the process, because Kip Thorne, one of the great minds in physics, said to me very early on, when you get to that, I want to talk to you visual effects guys and all this. And I, as a filmmaker, you're a little like, well, we're going to make it look the way we want it to look.
That's a bit cheeky.
It's a little bit cheeky. You would appreciate that. But I thought, he's got a real passion for that. There must be a reason for that. And of course, what I then realized is he's sitting on all of this information, all these equations that he knows that put into the right computer, essentially, he can spit out a picture of what science really tells you this thing would look like.
And he's probably always wanted to see it.
He's always wanted to see it. And of course, we have those computers. They have all kinds of other computers.
Sure.
They've got all the equations, they've got all the mathematics. But they don't have the indulgence that we have.
They don't have the
months and months of render time for this. And in the end, that construction of the black hole was so successful that Kip actually presented a scientific paper on it. So it literally fed back, he gave us the equations, we produced the black hole, and then he was able to represent that to his colleagues and say, okay, here's the visualization.
Isn't that the great virtuous circle of science fiction, though? Which is that we imagine these things, and then fairly competent minds write science fiction and propose ideas and then inspire scientists who then go out and find out what things really are, often inspired by science fiction.
I think very often inspired by, I think you go back to 2001, they have iPads. I mean, they literally have iPads.
Isn't that amazing?
And you think, okay, that's, the filmmakers are not pouring the stuff out into a vacuum. And if you look at, what Stephen did with Minority Report with that interface.
With the gesture-based interface, which we now have, of course.
Hugely influential. I mean, luckily no one's figured out killer robots yet.
Right. No, they have Predator drones.
As I say that, actually, I was thinking of Arnold himself, but no, actually, thinking about it, it's chilling, actually.
They can do it now.
How close those drones are. So thanks for that.
Just try to do my part.